So we're going to be talking about the 4 establishments of mindfulness. Yeah. And this is a Buddhist practice that the Buddha taught that has been very popular in all of the traditions of Buddhism. And it's a really helpful one for putting us, making us more aware of our body, our feelings, our thoughts, and what's going on in our mind, and also the various moods and emotions we have, as well as other phenomena. Yeah, and the purpose of doing this meditation is not just to become aware of these things, but to apply wisdom and to see their impermanence, to see how in our present state these things arise due to karma and afflictions, and also to see that they lack any kind of solid core or self. And these 4 also make us look at how we relate to our body's feelings, mind, and phenomena. Okay? So first we have to talk about mindfulness in general. Yeah. So we all know mindfulness is the most popular practice now. You can learn it on an app. You can play music while you're being mindful. You can, teach it in any kind of environment. Okay, that's secular mindfulness. Okay, and that's not what we're going to be talking about tonight. Okay, in Buddhism, mindfulness has a specific meaning and a specific purpose. Yeah, and it's different from secular mindfulness, which is also beneficial and helps people, but it's a different kind of use of the mindfulness. So mindfulness is a mental factor. Okay, it's a factor that helps our mind focus on an object that we're familiar with. Okay, so it has to be on an object we're familiar with. And the mind focuses on it in a way that it doesn't forget the object. And mindfulness also functions to eliminate any kind of distraction. And in Buddhism, when we're doing the 4 establishments of mindfulness, it's our mindfulness, the focus on the object. It also comes with wisdom. Okay, so in secular mindfulness, you might notice, oh, I'm lifting my hand up, I'm moving my fingers, just noticing and observing that. In Buddhist mindfulness, yeah, you're lifting your hand up and you're questioning, what is the relationship of my hand to me? Is my hand me? Am I the owner of the hand? Is the hand changing in every moment, or is it something static? Okay, so we're really examining the nature of things in Buddhist mindfulness. Okay, so in talking about these 4, okay, we do this in order to keep ourselves from grasping and apprehending them in an incorrect way. Okay, so usually in our everyday mind, yeah, we see our body as like the basis of our identity. Yeah, don't you? This is me. We say, I'm here. Why do we say I'm here? Because the body's here. Yeah. So the body's the basis of just our feeling of I. On top of that, we establish so many other identities based on the body. You know, what race we are, what age we are, what we look like, yeah, what groups we belong to. Are we men? Are we women? Are we tall? Are we short? We create so many identities based on this body. Okay, what is this body really? Yeah, is this body really the basis of who I am? Actually, yeah, you think it is? Yeah? Huh? What's this body? It's a bunch of vegetable glue. Yeah? Isn't it? It's a bunch of atoms and molecules put together in a certain way. Yeah? The inside of the body, well, the outside of the body, when you look at people, you know, you judge them. Oh, is that person attractive? Is that person not attractive? Right? You look at your face in the mirror. How do I look today? Oh no, I have so many more new wrinkles. Oh, what are people going to think of me? You know, oh, my hair is gray, grayer than before. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I gained 100 grams. That's too much. I've got to go on a diet. Oh, I'm too thin. I better eat more. Yeah. So we really fuss about our body a lot. Yeah. And all it is just organic material. The outside of the body looks great most of the time, except when you're sick, and of course, when you first wake up in the morning. Then you don't look so great, do you? But how about the inside of the body? Is that beautiful? Is that attractive? Uh-uh. Well, why are we attracted to people based on the outside of their body, whereas the inside of the body actually takes up more room? Yeah. And the inside is not so attractive. Yeah. Why are we so attached to our body? Oh, my little toe hurts so much. I can't go to work. I can't take care of the family. My little toe. Yeah. We fuss over this body in an incredible way. Yeah. And what does the body do for us at the end of the day? Yeah. You're all sitting there. You don't know what your body does at the end of your life? Yeah. Yeah, well, it's getting old our whole life. Yeah, from the moment we're born, we're getting old. It's not that old age happens, you know, at a certain age. From the moment we were born, we're getting old. And at the end, what does our body do? It dies. You know, we fuss over it, we cherish it, we create so much negative karma based on this body. And at the end of the day, it deserts us. And we go on to another life. So it makes us ask ourselves, oh, do I really need to fuss so much about my body? Yeah. Do I really need to be so attached to it, to pamper it? Yeah. To ask how I look. If at the end of, if, or since I should say, our body is just perpetually getting older and uglier, and then it'll die. I hate to disillusion you, but I'm just telling the truth, huh? Yeah. We don't like to hear this truth. Yeah, we'd much rather say, oh, death, yes, it happens to other people. Yeah, it's not going to happen to me. Old age, that's going to happen in another 100 years. Yeah, then I'll start getting old. But I'm always going to remain youthful and attractive. Really? Okay. So, seeing the body is the basis of our identity. When we really look at the body closely, it makes us question. Yeah. At the time of death, are we going to go, no, I can't leave this body? Yeah. Do we have any choice at the time we die about leaving this body? Uh-uh. Uh-uh. No choice. Yeah. Okay. Then the next one is feelings. Okay. So we are attached to, we get attached to feelings because they're the source, they're our experience. And here, when we talk about feelings, we're not talking about emotions. We're talking about just raw feelings of pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral. Or we could say happy, painful, and neutral. Yeah. So just those three feelings. Yeah. And, they're what we experience. This is an interesting thing to ask ourselves. Do I really pay attention to my feelings of pleasure and pain and neutral? Or do I just react to them? Yeah. When the sound equipment was squeaking, yeah, were we paying attention and studying what the sound, it was an unpleasant sound, right? Yeah. Were we studying, like, why was it unpleasant? Why did we say it was unpleasant? Or were we reacting against it, like, oh, I don't like that sound, get rid of it? Yeah, which one? Yeah. Were we patiently waiting for the sound to change? Or were we like, it's unpleasant, I can't stand anything unpleasant? Okay. So that unpleasant feelings, we push away. Yeah, we don't want them. So unpleasant feelings very often act as the cause of our anger. Yeah. How do we act when we're angry? Are you happy when you're angry? Are you cheerful and pleasant to the people around you when you're angry? No. We're nasty. We're grumpy. We complain. Yeah, we're all the same. I'm not telling you anything new. Yeah. And the people you live with, I'm sure, agree with me about how you are when you're angry. Okay. Now, what about when you have a pleasant feeling? Yeah. How do we react to pleasant feelings? I want more, more, and I want better pleasant feelings. So whatever we think gives us a pleasant feeling, we get attached to, we get greedy for, we want to possess it. Yeah. And we've all had happy feelings before. Do they last long? No. How about your unpleasant ones? Do they last long? When you have an unpleasant feeling, you say, oh, this is going to last forever. Yeah. Oh, again, my stomach hurts. Oh, it's going to hurt from now until the end of my life. What am I going to do? Oh, I'm in so much pain. I can't stand it. Yeah. Okay. And it feels to us, we grab the unpleasant feeling as if it's unchanging and, always going to be there. But in actual fact, it's changing every moment by moment, isn't it? Yeah. It's quite interesting. When some part of your body hurts, are you aware of the moment when it stops hurting? Yeah, your stomach hurts. And then later on, oh, my stomach doesn't hurt anymore. Do you know, can you identify when your stomach stopped hurting? Yeah, we usually can. Yeah, but when it's hurting, we have single-pointed concentration on it. And we think we can't focus. Yeah. Pleasant feelings, when they're happening, yeah, notice what happens to the mind when we have pleasant feelings. It's just our mind, it's clinging, it's grasping. I want more. I don't want this to end. Okay? We become like little kids, with our pleasant feelings. I want this. Why are you taking it away from me? It shouldn't end. Yeah? Do you get like that? Yeah? You get a raise at work. No Singaporean could ask for more happiness than that. Yeah. Except maybe a nice boss. Yeah. I've taught in Singapore for many, many years. People complain so much about their boss. Yeah, you would think that your boss was the source of all misery. Yeah. But your boss is just some sentient being who's trying to be happy and not suffer. Yeah. Do you have any compassion for your boss? Who, me? My boss? Compassion? If you knew my boss, you wouldn't talk about compassion for that person. Yeah. But when we have a nice feeling, we grasp. I want more. I want better, more and better, more and better, more and better. Yeah. And we run around chasing external objects, thinking that they bring us good feelings. Yeah. So, okay, so you're hungry. We've all had that, right? When you're hungry, when you start to eat, oh, it feels so good, doesn't it? When you're really hungry and you start to eat, oh, good, I'm glad I'm eating. And you eat and you feel better and your stomach gets better. And you think, our mind thinks, oh, the food is the cause of my happiness. Yeah. If the food were really the cause of our happiness, then the more we ate, the happier we would be. Okay, so you go to a buffet dinner and at 6 o'clock and you eat and you keep eating and you keep eating and you keep eating, and what happens? Your pleasant feeling vanishes. Your unpleasant feeling grows. Yeah. Then if you wait some more, the unpleasant feeling of being hungry goes down. The unpleasant feeling of being hungry goes up, so that you start eating again. When you start eating again, the unpleasant feeling goes down and the pleasant feeling goes up until you eat too much, and then it goes down and this one comes up. So is the food really the source of your happiness? Yeah, if it were, then every bite, if you took a million bites all in a row, you would get happier and happier, and you don't. So the food is not the cause of the happiness. Okay? Or maybe another way to put it is we feel a pleasant sensation from eating, but that sensation doesn't last. Yeah. So there's so many things. It's so interesting to look at in our lives when we have a pleasant feeling and what we do. You sit down and you're watching your favorite TV program. Okay? So you're happy watching your favorite TV program until there's a commercial. Yeah. When there's a commercial, then you're unhappy. And you flick it to another channel to see if you can catch some happiness on a show in another channel. Okay. And after a few minutes, you click it back to your original show. Huh? And when the program's over, then you keep clicking until you find another show that you really like. Yeah. No, you turn your TV off. Oh, you turn your TV off and then you pick up your phone. Yeah. It's just amazing. Yeah. People think that their phone is the source of happiness, as if, that this, we'll pretend this is a phone, that out of this, that inside this thing, there is happiness. And the more I look at it, the happier I'm going to be. And so you look at it all the time. Doesn't matter you're crossing the street in busy traffic. You just look at it. Hope you don't get hit. Yeah. Hope you don't trip over something. Yeah. Then you're flicking, scratching. What is it? Oh, my phone wiggled. I have a text message. My phone is with. I better see who texted me. It means I'm so important. Somebody texted me. Oh, goody, what did they say? There's a sale of golf equipment. Do you want to buy it? It's at a bargain for $10,000. Oh, I'm so disappointed. Let's click the next thing. Okay. It's amazing, how people relate to technology and especially their phone. Yeah. If you can tear yourself away from looking at your own phone, look at other people around you and how they're like this. Their reality has shrunk into something that is maybe 3 inches by 4 inches. That is your reality, what you look at all day long. Does it really bring you happiness? No. Why do you keep looking at it? Because every once in a while, there's a text message that makes you happy. You know the experiment that they do with the mice tapping the thing? And when you give the mice food, not every time, yeah, but occasionally, Yeah. It keeps tapping every time, wanting the food, even though most of the time it doesn't get it. But it's there because every once in a while it gets a grain of rice. And that's what we're like with the phone. Yeah. It doesn't, looking at all these things doesn't really make us happy. But we keep looking because every once in a while, there's a nice message. But most of the time, it's true, isn't it? Yeah. And when we're so engrossed in our phone, we ignore the other people around us. We ignore our environment. Like I said, everything shrunk into this one little rectangle. Yeah. And then we forget how to relate to real living beings. We only know how to relate to our phone. Yeah. When you're done with your phone, you turn it off. Yeah. When you're around a person and you're tired and they want to keep talking, can you turn them off? No. So I'm going back to my phone. Yeah. But, we can't, when there's another person who needs to talk, we can connect with the living being. When we're just looking at a screen, all we're connecting with is a screen. Does that bring you happiness? Looking at my screen, it says undo typing. And it has cancel and undo. But I didn't type anything. Why are you saying this? And then it moves. Okay, the time switched, but my undo typing is stuck. How do I get rid of it? It's not going away. I press cancel and it's still here. Yes. He is my person that I go to because machines and I don't always see eye to eye. And I am convinced that machines have their own mind and they deliberately want to make me frustrated. Yeah. Okay. But really try to turn your phone off. Yeah. Try to relate to living beings. You can be on your phone a lot and say, oh, I'm learning so much. I'm relating to all sorts of people. But you're not. You're relating to a screen. Yeah. Okay. Then the third one, so that's about feelings, how we react towards present, unpleasant. Neutral feelings, I don't care. Eh, eh, eh. You see an attractive person, oh boy, hey, did you see that guy? Yeah. Wow. Okay. Then you see an unattractive person. Then you see a person that's neither. Yeah. These are living beings who have feelings, and we just judge them in terms of whether we feel happy, unhappy, or neutral. Yeah. We don't tune in to these are living beings, and that everything we have, everything we know, yeah, all comes from other living beings. As much as I don't well, I can't say I don't like it because it won't cooperate if I say I don't like it. But I love you. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Okay. Then the mind. Yeah. We pay attention. We place our mindfulness on the mind because we think the mind is the self. Yeah. Sometimes we feel like I am my body. But when we really look at it more closely, do you really think your body is who you are? Probably not, you know. But our mind, our thoughts, our emotions, everything, you know, our whole cognitive ability, that's me. So we relate to the mind as if it were the self. Mm-hmm. If that were the case, which mental state is you? Oh, I know which mental state is me. It's the depressed one. It's the one that never does anything right. It's the one that nobody loves. That's who I am. Unloved, unappreciated. People make fun of me. Okay, we identify with that one sometimes, don't we? Yeah. And we say, that's me. I'm this just horrible person who can't do anything right. Yeah. So sometimes we think that mental state is the self. Other times we think, I am so good. I'm the best one in the country. I got 4 stars on my essay at school. I am the employee of the month. Yeah, and look, they have a picture of me right next to Nagarjuna. Yeah, so I am with the top class. You know, I finally made it. I'm this wonderful person. Yeah. So we go into that state sometimes too, don't we? Yeah. And it's so interesting when we're in the depressed state of telling ourselves how bad we are, we think, oh, that's definitely me. And that's, you know, can't be changed. When we're elated and giddy and we think, oh, that mental state is me, yeah, again, yeah, it's not me, is it? It changes. Okay. But, yeah, the reason we do mindfulness on the mind is to really study how we so often think that our mental state is who we are. Yeah. And we create such an identity about it. And some of that identity we create is based on what other people tell us about ourselves. Yeah. As if other people know us better than we know ourselves. Yeah. As if whatever somebody else says about us must be the truth. And we get stuck in that mental state. Yeah, you're at work and somebody says, oh, you really blew this project. I can't count on you. Mm-hmm. That's me, the person who can't do anything right. Yeah. Or your boss comes and says, oh, you did a wonderful job. This is really better than I ever anticipated. Me. Yeah, the brilliant person who did the project perfectly. me. Are either one of those mental states you? Yeah. Okay. So this whole thing of mindfulness is to help us understand what our body is, what our feelings, happy, unhappy, neutral, and what our mind is. And then the fourth one, phenomena. Okay? Here, phenomena can refer to external phenomena. Okay? It can also refer to different mental factors, to different emotions. Yeah? And, so often we think we are so engrossed in our emotions, aren't we? Yeah. I feel attached to something, I want it. I feel repulsed by something, I don't want it. Yeah, I'm lazy today, I just want to lie around and do nothing. I'm supposed to be doing something, but okay, I can lie about it, and that's okay. Nobody else will know. Mhm. Okay, so just these different emotions and mental factors that we have, yeah? And we think that those make the self good, or those make the self bad. Okay, so if we happen to have, if the mental factor, let's say, of intelligence is operating at a certain moment and we can solve a problem, yeah, then we say, that makes me happy. It purifies my mind. It makes me a good person. When we're frustrated because we have a problem and we can't solve it, yeah, then that frustration, yeah, that makes me polluted. It makes me afflicted. It disturbs me. Okay. Okay. So I really like this meditation, to tell you the truth, because when you get into it, it's so interesting. Yeah. So we usually start out with the body, because the body is here, and we are very reactive to our body. You may be sitting here. How many of you are falling asleep right now? Well, I see some of you falling asleep. Yeah. Okay. We react to our body a lot. How many of you have aching legs? Yeah, your back hurts. You would much rather sit in a chair than on the floor. Yeah, yeah, right. Okay. Hmm. Why do Buddhists always have to sit on the floor? You know, the Buddha, I don't see anything in the canon that says sit on the floor. Okay. So when we start looking at the body, it's there's sometimes they point out 32 elements and 32 parts of the body, and you spend some time memorizing them. Yeah, I can't remember all 32. It starts at hair, no, head, hair, body, hair, nail, teeth, skin. Yes. Sinews, bones, bone marrow, kidney. He remembers all of them. Okay, good. Yeah. So it's very interesting when you start to examine what your body is, yeah, and what the body of other people is. Yeah. So we start out hair, head hair. Don't you like it? Yeah. Yeah, I combed it especially for this event. Yeah. So we fuss over our hair. And this is not just women, it's men too. Yeah. Yeah. Men fuss over not having enough hair. Yeah. Some of them. Yeah. And you know, we all, if we have long hair, put it this way, whatever kind of hair we have, we don't like it. Yeah, you want your hair to be different. Yeah, so you dye it pink, purple, you know, some other color. Yeah, you do something strange. So this fellow over here, before he ordained, sorry, I like saying this about you. Um, well, yeah, he had a blue mohawk. Yeah, so ordination changes people. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. I had hair down to here before I ordained. Yeah. Oh, look at my beautiful hair. Except it didn't look like all the models' hair. Yeah. So, you know, you want your hair to look different. Yeah. You want your body to look different. We're never content with our body, are we? We always want to look like somebody else. But whoever we want to look like, what does the inside of their body look like? The same, probably, as the inside of our body. Yeah. You want to look like somebody else, but that person gets old just like us. You know, the movie stars, the sports heroes. Yeah. You get a little bit of fame because of what your body is, and then it changes. I think especially for people who put a lot of emphasis on their body for their feeling of self-worth, I think aging is really difficult. Yeah, because our bodies are getting older and uglier. You know, that's just the nature of things. Mhm. Can we age gracefully with a body that is getting older and uglier? Yeah. Can we be graceful, or as we age, do we complain? Oh, I don't look as young and attractive as I used to. Nobody's gonna like me. Yeah, people don't pay attention to me. My sister was telling me that when she was younger, if she went into a store, all the salespeople were very happy to help her. Yeah. But as soon as she turned around 50, the salespeople stopped coming and asking her. Huh? Can we be content with how we look? Yeah. And so to really examine, you know, what is the body? We say, I want to look good. Yeah. Is that one part of your body that wants to look good? Is that going to make you beautiful? You know, when you look at somebody else and you say they're attractive, you know, what is it? Your eyes are like diamonds, your teeth are like pearls. Yeah. You know, I don't know, was that Shakespeare or was it some, you know, making up something like that? Yeah. So if you're attached to somebody's eyes, imagine putting their eyes out here on the table. And those pearly teeth, you put them one by one, lay them out on the table. Are they so beautiful? What about the skin? You know, your skin that you want to be nice and free of wrinkles and freckles and moles and everything. Yeah. If you could just take your skin off and put it out here? Is it so beautiful? Yeah. The person you fall in love with because they're so good looking. If you just could peel their skin off and pull it here. Yeah. Oh, your skin is so beautiful. I can, yeah. And your eyes just sitting there on the table. Yeah. None of those things really are attractive alone, are they? Yeah. And so you start looking at the exterior of your body, and then you start studying the interior of your body. When we do this at the Abbey where I live, our monastery, we take out an anatomy book, yeah, and start looking at the pictures and saying, that's me. That's what the inside of me looks like. I don't know if they've had this, an exhibit here, but one time in the US, I was at a science exhibit where they had created the, the inside of the body and showed the different systems. Yeah. Was it ever here in Singapore? Yeah. And so, the nervous system, just showing all the different nerves in the body. Yeah. And showing, the digestive system, what it looks like. Yeah. Showing the circulatory system, all your blood and the vessels and things like that. And it's really very interesting because we never really think of our body as having those things unless something's wrong, and then we have to go to the doctor. Yeah. Then we're very aware of that part of our body. But usually we're not so aware. So this meditation where you really, sometimes you can do it by going through these 32 parts one by one. Sometimes you can do it by just starting, at the top of your head and just looking at, studying what is there in your body. Outside of the body, the inside of the body. In Thailand, the monks go to autopsies to look at, when somebody has died and they need to determine the cause of death. They do an autopsy. So the monks go in order to really help study what the body is and think this is my body too, when you're looking at the part of somebody else. And so when I was working on the Library of Wisdom and Compassion for His Holiness Dalai Lama, he wanted me to put parts in it about other Buddhist traditions beside the Tibetan one. So I went to Thailand and I stayed at a monastery for a while. And they asked, I was with one friend of mine, and they asked if we would like to go to an autopsy, and we said yes. And so they arranged for us and a few monks to go to an autopsy. And it was so interesting because the monks were very afraid that we two women were going to faint. Yeah. Why? Because one of the monks had fainted before an autopsy. And why they're like, are you sure you can go? If you feel well, this is what they're saying to us. If you don't feel well, tell us. You can sit down. We don't want you to throw up all over the floor. And my friend and I are going, look, we've worked with our mothers in the kitchen, with meat, with chicken, Yeah, when you eat meat, what are you eating? You're eating somebody else's dead body. Yeah. So for us, it's nothing new seeing that. Yeah. I guess for the guys, they never had that pleasure. Yeah. So it was so interesting going to this autopsy and watching how they do it. In America, where I live, they wouldn't let you go and watch an autopsy. I don't know in Singapore if you could or not. Probably not. No. Okay. So, the body's lying down there, and they have this circular kind of saw thing, with thing that goes in there. So they go here and, cut off the top of the head, and, he just pulls it off. Yeah. And then weighs it. Every part of the body gets weighed. Yeah, it's like in the supermarkets when you're weighing how much how, how much after apples you weigh, how much the papaya weighs. It's one of those scales, show how much that weighs, and then they scoop the brain out and weigh the brain, and then slice here and pull the esophagus and the tongue and everything out. And, take the whole thing out, and then they slice down here, open up the rib case, take the different organs out, and put them in the thing, weigh them, mark down, And so they do this for all the parts of the body. And as the man who's doing the autopsy, uh, takes each part out, he weighs it, and then he puts it down and weighs it, puts down, weighs it. So at the end, the body's fully cut open, and all the parts are kind of laid out there. Okay. And then, because there's going to be a funeral, and you can't just take the body out like that. Then he takes all the parts and he just shoves it in any old place. I thought he would probably put, the stomach where it belongs, the intestine where, put the brain back here. No, you just take it all, shove it somewhere in the body, stitch it up, stuff some stuff up here, stitch it up. Yeah. And and it's really good, because you would think, that's what my body is too. And at some time, I'm going to die, this body is going to die. And why should I be attached to it? When the time of death comes, why am I, I don't want to just be, I can't leave this body. This body is me. If I don't have this body, who am I going to be? Yeah. And then that craving, yeah, is involved in making the karma ripen. And, if I can't have this body, well, I want another one. And the karma ripens where the consciousness joins with another body. Yeah. And so the cycle of samsara, the cycle of rebirth, under the influence of karma and afflictions, continues. So really studying the body very closely. And I think it helps us, prepare for death. It helps us deal with sickness, because we're all going to get sick. We've all been sick before. Anybody here has never been sick? Yeah. The only way to prevent sickness is to die first. Yeah. Otherwise, we're going to get sick. Okay. This body is prone to illness. The body is prone to aging. And so to really think about that and develop some acceptance inside our heart, that this is just what's going to happen. Yeah. So there's no reason for me to be attached to this body. There's no reason for me to fuss over it so much, especially my looks and so on. Yeah. My athletic ability. Look at those muscles. So flabby. Yeah. Don't you love your flab? Yeah. So, it's a way just to develop a lot of acceptance that I think is very healthy for us, because then we don't cling so much. Mhm. Okay. And then we go on to study the feelings. Yeah. So let's pause for a minute. Yeah. So check in with your body. Are there parts of your body that are comfortable, parts that are uncomfortable? Yeah, if you feel the discomfort in your legs or your back or wherever, then ask yourself, why do I call that uncomfortable? What is it that makes that sensation unpleasant? And see if you can mentally draw a line in your body around the area that has an unpleasant feeling. Where exactly is the borderline of that feeling? When you try and mentally draw a line around the area of that unpleasant feeling, can you really do it? What is it that makes it unpleasant? Okay, check and see if there's some part of your body that has a pleasant feeling right now. Maybe you're hot and the breeze is blowing against your skin, or whatever. Is there a pleasant feeling in your body? How about a neutral feeling? Are you aware of the feeling of your middle toe on your right foot? What kind of feeling is there? Okay. So it's interesting, isn't it? Wake up now. Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? Have you ever, sat down and just paid attention to it? Yeah. I find that one of trying to draw a line around the painful area, I can never do it. Could you do it? Can you do it? Could you like mentally find exactly, where in your leg it's hurting? It's actually quite hard to do. I was talking to one friend who was meditating, doing mindfulness of the body, and he told me that one time his shoulder was really hurting, and so he was just putting his mindfulness on the shoulder, paying attention, to the painful feeling in his shoulder. And he said, then the pain shifted like that to this shoulder. Yeah. So, if this side of your back hurts, then it's like, oh, what did I do that this shoulder hurts so much? Yeah. And he said, it just suddenly that pain started coming over here and this shoulder was okay. Yeah. It's interesting. Observe these things. Okay. And then look at, especially look at the pleasant feelings and how much we cling to the pleasant feelings, how much the way we live our life is so much in reaction to the pleasant or unpleasant feelings. Yeah, from morning till night, what are we doing? We're looking for pleasant feelings. Yeah, you wake up in the morning, that alarm, unpleasant feeling, slam it on. Okay. Oh, I have to get up in the morning. Oh, I can have a cup of coffee. I hate coffee, to tell you the truth, no, I don't say that. Oh, I can have a cup of chai. Oh, happiness comes. Now I can get up. Yeah? What gets you out of bed in the morning? Is it seeking some kind of happy feeling? Yeah? Or are you just, it hurts so much to keep lying in bed that you have to stop? Okay. Yeah. I mean, we're just pushed by the way we relate to happy and unhappy, painful and pleasurable feelings. We're slaves to them, actually. I want happy feelings. So I need this, and I need this, and I need this. Oh, and this is going to give me happy feelings, because I saw the commercial and it said that if you buy fair price, soft, white facial tissue, your loved ones will always love you because it's so soft. I want the softness of this tissue. But when you have a cold and your nose gets kind of chapped, then does this feel soft? No. Okay. Quite interesting, isn't it? The same object at one time feels pleasurable, another time feels painful. When I get the box of tissues, it's my box of tissues. Yeah, you have to know it's mine. Yeah. Do you want a tissue? If you do, you better be nice to me. You don't get a tissue. Oh, don't pout. Oh, she's pouting. You see? Unpleasant feeling. Look at her. You know? Yeah. This is what we're like. Every small thing. Yeah, it's pleasurable. I want more. I want better. Yeah. This isn't really the best kind of tissue. Yeah. There's got to be a better brand. Oh, you know what I noticed recently? I visited my sister. This was the first time I saw this. Then I went to the dentist, and that was the second time I saw it. And the third time, where was it? I can't remember. But have you ever seen the new toilet paper? Guaranteed to give you bliss. You know how the regular toilet paper, when you try and separate the things, that it just goes a straight line? Well, now there's toilet paper where it's not a straight line. It's like little waves. It's so beautiful. Yeah. And the toilet paper is thick. Yeah. And it, so pretty on both sides, these little scallops. Ah, yeah, I'm going to buy that toilet paper. Actually, I'm not. I don't buy toilet paper. Yeah, I beg it. Please, please. No. But, we're always looking to up the happiness we get from every small thing. Yeah. And this is one reason why I hate shopping. Yeah, I know. How can I come to Singapore and hate shopping? It's how can you be a visitor to Singapore and not live on Orchard Road the whole time and go from one mall to the next mall? Well, I'm sorry. I'm not very good for the economy here. Yeah, I really don't like shopping. Why? Because when I shop, I want to get the best thing. Yeah, that is always going to bring me the most happiness for the longest time. Yeah. So I love cookies. If you put me in a supermarket in the cookie aisle and say you can get your favorite kind of cookies, what you feel like eating right now, go ahead. And I'll stand there and I'll go, which one do I want? Yeah. Well, I usually like chocolate chip, but I've eaten a lot of chocolate chip cookies lately, so I'm tired of that. So I want some other kind of cookie, butter cookies. Yeah, they taste good, but they make you fat. I don't want that. How about ginger snaps? Yeah, I like those too, but I don't really feel like eating them. But maybe by the time I get home, I'll feel like eating ginger snaps. Okay, but right now, I feel like eating almond cookies. So which one do I buy? The almond cookies that I feel like eating now, except I can't eat them in the middle of the store. But by the time I get home, I may not want the almond cookies. I may want the ginger cookies. So which one do I get? And actually, by the time I get home, I may go back to the one I usually like the most, which is chocolate chip. But no, do I want the kind of cookies with the small chips or the big chunk? They have chocolate chunk cookies. Yeah? Yeah, you don't look happy. You don't like chocolate chip cookies? Yeah? So, this is because I can't make up my mind which is going to give me the most pleasure? How long does it take to eat a cookie? You know, I've never really timed it, but I don't think that, you know, well, of course it depends on if it's a big cookie or a small cookie, yeah. But how much pleasure do you get from that cookie? And is each bite equally pleasurable? Or by the time you get halfway through the cookie, you want another kind of cookie. And then you're full of regret because you didn't buy that kind at the store. Okay, anybody else? I'm using very simple, petty examples, but this is what we do. Watch when you eat. It's so interesting to watch people eat. Yeah, as monastics, we're not supposed to look in people's bowls to see how much food they have or what they've taken. But they're sitting across from us, so we look at how they eat. Yeah. So some people, yeah. This is my chopstick. Don't pretend it's two chopsticks. So I put the rice and put it a little bit different, put a little bit of the green pepper, and then I have to have a little bit of tofu mixed in with that, and get the exact proportion of rice and that green pepper and the tofu all together in one bite with my chopsticks. Yeah. Oh, I got it. And then the green pepper fell out. Yeah, but look how you eat every bite. You know, you calculate so it becomes the thing that you most feel, that you think will give you the most pleasure at that particular moment. Yeah. And the first bite, maybe, you eat the noodles. The second bite is the vegetables. The third bite, the tofu. The fourth bite, because each one you're going to see which gives you the most happiness. Yeah. So interesting. Okay. So we are addicted to happiness. And this is the source of addiction. We want happiness. My happiness now. Yeah. Immediately. Delayed happiness? No. Now is better. But, sometimes we realize that we do have to prepare for future happiness. So we save some money. Yeah. Oh, money, my goodness. Talk about the object that gives us happiness and suffering. Yeah. You get that paycheck. I got a red packet. No, this is a paycheck. Did they pay me? Enough. They took out so much taxes. Why are they taking out so much taxes? Yeah. Oh, but I'm due for a raise. Oh, goody. I'm going to get $5 more every day. Well, it's better than nothing. Okay. Yeah. I mean, the way we relate to money really this is another thing. This comes under happiness of mindfulness of phenomena. Money's just a phenomena. Money used to be backed by gold, right? We went off the gold standard. So then money became paper. Yeah, that's all money is, paper and ink. Nowadays, money isn't even paper and ink. When your employee transfers your paycheck into your bank account, is there something that you can hold that you're getting? No. When you get paid, all that changes is the squiggles on your bank statement. By squiggles, I mean numbers, but they're basically, numbers are basically squiggles. Yeah. And yet we are so attached to those squiggles. We don't even have paper anymore. We think our value as human beings depends on our bank balance. Yeah. Or on the possessions that we have that we bought from that bank balance. Yeah. And we measure our success as a human being based on that. Does that make sense? That somebody's value as a human being is their bank balance, or the kind of car they drive, or what kind of clothes they wear? When we really look at it, yeah, what's a car? It's a bunch of metal and plastic and cloth. Yeah. Why do we attach our self-esteem to that pile of junk? Yeah. You're going to say, but my car's not a junk. It's not junk. I worked so hard to get that car. Look at it. It's the latest model. It's the most beautiful color. Yeah. Isn't it nice? Aren't I important? I own that pile of metal that before long is going to be junk. In fact, somebody already scratched it. Oh no, my car is scratched. How can that happen? It's dented, you know. I backed into something, I dented my new car. This is true. Isn't this how you react? Yeah. And what's your car? You know, it's just a pile of metal that you sit in so you can go someplace. It doesn't mean you're a good person. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. But our mind imputes value onto that. It imputes our self-esteem based on the kind of car we have, or if you don't have a car. Yeah. When you think about it, does that make any sense at all? What is really valuable in our lives? Yeah, what is really valuable? You know, we say, oh, but money, money, money. Yeah, so money symbolizes to us, it symbolizes freedom, it symbolizes success, it symbolizes self-worth, it can symbolize love, like when we give, you know, some to somebody else. Yeah, but what is it? It may symbolize all those things, but what is it? Yeah, you can't even touch your money anymore, can you? Yeah. So what my point in all of this is to really look at things very closely and, you know, how do we relate to them? How do we respond to them? And does it make any sense? Are our values in the right place? Yeah. Does having a lot of money really mean you're a worthwhile human being? Okay. Donnie. You know who Donnie is? Yeah. Did you vote for him? I didn't. Donnie supposedly has a lot of money. Yeah. Is he happy? Yeah. Does he look like a happy person? No, he looks like a pretty miserable person. He's angry. He's bitter. He wants revenge. Is that a happy person? Yeah. He now owes how much money to other people for things, for fraud, for not doing his tax submissions properly, for, to one woman, many women he should give it to, for, sexual harassment. But supposedly he's very rich. Yeah, but his businesses, his casinos went bankrupt. Yeah. Is he a happy person? Does money really, mean that you're a valuable human being? Yeah. Isn't a kind heart more valuable than money? Have you ever heard when somebody's dying, they say sometimes when people are nearing death, they have regrets. Do you ever hear of somebody regretting, on their deathbed? Oh, I should have worked longer hours. Never heard? I've never heard of anybody regretting that. What do people regret? They regret their anger. They regret not telling the people they love that they love them. They regret missing opportunities to be kind, to connect with other people. Yeah. They don't miss their money when they're dying. When you're dying, your money's totally useless. And in fact, you collect a lot of money to think, oh, money is security. If I have a lot of money, I'm secure. But money, won't prevent you from dying. Sometimes money is the cause of your death. You get killed because somebody's robbing you. It's so strange how we think, oh, I have a lot of money, therefore I'm a worthwhile human being. That's not true. It's what's inside here that's important, not the outside appearance. Yeah. It's whether we have a kind heart, whether we care about others. Yeah. And I'm not just talking about caring about family and friends. Yeah. But care about every living being we see. They all want happiness, none of them want suffering. I like walking, and in Singapore, it's nice to walk. I meet lots of dogs, yeah, and whenever I like dogs, yeah, and whenever I can, I stop to pet them, and I say, "Oh, mani padme hum," give them some mantra, yeah, and it's nice. I connect with the dog. Sometimes that leads to a connection with the owner of the dog. But it's also interesting, sometimes not only with the dogs, but with the children. I'll stop and wave to children or talk to a baby or something like that. And some kids respond, and some kids, you can tell Mom and Dad said, don't talk to strangers. But it feels like a missed opportunity. We're just crossing each other's path for a moment. Why not smile at somebody? Yeah. Okay. I mean, really, I think at the end of the day, that is what makes us happy. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I think I've said enough. You might have some questions or comments.
Where would you fit these four mindfulnesses in a lamrim?
In the lamrim, they usually would come, they're usually first introduced in the middle scope. Yeah, when you talk about the four truths, the Four Noble Truths. So under true paths, you talk about the three higher trainings. So it comes there. Yeah, especially higher training in wisdom and higher training in concentration. Yeah, but you can also practice that as one of the four establishments of mindfulness as part of your bodhisattva practice too, if you do it with the bodhicitta motivation.
Thank you for your talk. I learned a lot. I just want to ask, like, how can we be less of a slave to our emotions and our mind state since they're so fleeting?
Yeah. Well, by doing this practice and really investigating what they are, yeah, then that lessens our attachment to them. It lessens our reactivity because we see things more clearly, you know, and especially as you progress in this practice, you really begin to see the impermanence of feelings, the impermanence of your body, the mind, and all these things. And when things are impermanent, you know, we're not just talking about gross impermanence and something breaking or a person dying. We're talking about the moment to moment change. And so everything's changing like that, moment to moment to moment, never being the same. And so when we get more of a feeling for that, you know, whether it's the gross change in which, you know, we're going to separate from the things we like, or the subtle change of things changing every moment, then the awareness of impermanence like that automatically makes the attachment go down, because we see whatever I'm attached to is going to be there forever. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, Venerable. Can I ask you, what is the difference between emotion and feeling?
Okay, emotions, feeling are just happy, unpleasant, happy, unhappy, neutral. Emotions are how we react to those feelings. So we have a happy feeling, we react with attachment, with greed. Yeah. We have an unpleasant feeling, we react with anger, frustration, irritability, hatred, something like that. Okay. Yeah. What creates the karma is not the happy or unhappy feeling, it's the emotion that we respond to that feeling with. That is that creates karma.
Venerable, practicing for the four mindfulness lead us to liberation.
Yes, it can. Yes, if you practice it sincerely, if you keep good ethical conduct, yeah, if you develop concentration and wisdom based on that, yes, it can. And especially if you generate love and compassion and bodhicitta, then that practice can help you attain full awakening too. Okay, but it's not going to happen by next Tuesday. Okay, we are so impatient. Yeah, I want liberation. I want liberation. I was recently at some teachings that were given by one of my teachers, and people, so many of the questions people were asking or the comments they made was, it takes so long to become a Buddha. It's so difficult, and what was my teacher supposed to say? Who were they complaining to? Yeah, Buddha, it takes so long to become like you. Can you make the path shorter? Yeah, I mean, can the Buddha make the path shorter? No, the Buddha didn't create the path. Yeah. So later on, when I was talking to a couple of people, and one man again started with me, oh, it takes so long to attain enlightenment. It's so hard. And I looked at him and I said, so what? But so what? It takes a long time. It takes hard. Yeah, who are you going to complain to? Yeah. What we should be looking at is how fortunate we are to have met a path that will lead us to awakening. How fortunate we are to live in a place where we have access to teachers and teachings and the support of the Sangha community. Yeah. So instead of just moaning and groaning about something that we can't change, let's rejoice that we have the opportunity and all the really good conditions to learn the teachings and practice them, and then go ahead and do it. It doesn't matter how long it takes. Yeah. I mean, when you really in your heart want to progress spiritually, it doesn't matter how long it takes. Yeah, because you're happy just to know that you're going in the right direction. Mm-hmm. Okay, got it? Will you remember it? Will you be joyful that you've met the Dharma? Yeah. This mic is getting a lot of exercise from the back of the room to the front of the room and back again.
Venerable, so we hear that the 4 foundations of mindfulness is meant to be meditated on.
Yes.
And in the sense that to really get some feeling for it,
Yes.
we should be carving out time, say daily, to meditate on it.
Yes.
But let's say if we are hearing this for the first time, like today,
Yeah.
and still wish to apply it in some ways in our daily life, would you like to give some tips on how we can do that?
That's what I was explaining the whole time. Yeah, check in with your feelings. Check your body. How do you feel about your body? Investigate, be aware of when you have a happy feeling and what state of mind it sparks. When you have an unpleasant feeling, what state of mind comes up. So be aware of those things, and then really, evaluate. What is virtuous and what is non-virtuous and all of that. Okay? Good. So there's many books that have been written about the 4 establishments of mindfulness. By many different people. Some of the people in the Theravada tradition, some people in the Tibetan tradition. So you can study these, but the important thing is to do some meditation, on it. And if you can do that every day, or at least be mindful every day of these 4 things, it's really worthwhile in your life.